X-Play, meeting new friends in Chronicles of Riddick.
Eye on your ass.
Frolicking through forgotten realms in Demon Stone. And much, much, much more. Right, Vin Diesel?
Talking about me, never were.
Who are you, Barry White? It's game time. Get ready for awkward moments. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show where dignity is a luxury we can't afford.
Now today we have the Riddick game that's been generating a ton of positive buzz in the industry.
Because industry buzz is always totally right. Remember how much Enter the Matrix rocked?
No.
Me neither.
Now of course, as if Riddick weren't enough, we also have Demon Stone. Now why should you care? Let's see. It's made by the people who developed Two Towers, and it's set in the Forgotten Realms universe. Can you say nerdgasm?
No.
Oh.
On top of that, we have a tennis game for the PS2, a Battlefield 1942 mod, and the follow-up to the most popular Xbox Live game ever.
That's right. We have the new Rainbow Six game. But we begin with a game based on a subpar movie franchise.
Sure, the Chronicles of Riddick movie is probably the end of Vin Diesel's film career, but what do you expect from a movie in which people manage to outrun the sunrise? The good news is that he's probably got a long, lucrative career in video games if Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is any indication. Here's our review.
Today, Johns, you get
If only he could arrange that for all of us. For those of you thinking, I don't want to play a game based on a Vin Diesel movie, then consider this. At least it's not Boiler Room or Triple X.
talking about me, never was.
For those of you thinking, but my God, that Riddick movie was the cinematic equivalent of a reverse colonic, then let me tell you, it's based on the character, not the movie. And you know what? It rocks. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay may be the biggest surprise of the year. Beyond just looking amazing, the game is one of the most visceral experiences I've had since that proctology exam.
As of this moment, Butcher Bay owns your ass. Eye on your ass.
So, in the game, you play Riddick, who's been imprisoned in Butcher Bay. This is a bad place. It looks like a toilet. The toilets look like a bad place. People aren't nice. And the decorator used too much blood. So, you need to escape. Your escape takes on many forms. A great way is to beat the crap out of people. This game is one of the best first-person fighting designs ever. It feels good, and you get that Jackson Pollock with Smucker's effect on the wall. But why go bare-knuckled when you can use a scalpel? I'm glad I didn't play doctor with him when I was a kid. This is fun, too. Whoopsies. Gosh, that's unfortunate. While duking it out mano-a-mano is all in good, you are alone in a prison, and like spooning with your bunkmate, human contact is best accomplished quietly. Crack a neck. Slit a throat. Drop in for a chat. Variety is the spice of life, kids. Much of the game does require stealth, which becomes more interesting after you meet Pope Joe.
Just follow me.
Yeah, and I bet there's a pony waiting there too. This is the point that you get your shiny eyes that allow you to see in darkness. But there's a catch. You're incredibly sensitive to light, to the point that a reflective surface can blow out your vision. This ingenious balancing act is one example of how Riddick has raised itself from just a generic stealth action game to an intelligently designed experience.
Here he is.
Another creative design example is how the game offers up a variety of gameplay seamlessly strung together.
You like that?
Cell block sequences offer up a host of missions.
Waste him when they open his cell.
And you have your sneaky bits. And then there's the pure shooting. Like when naked deformed people come at you like you're an Oshkosh Bagosh delivery boy who made a wrong turn. Unfortunately, this is where the game goes a little wrong. While the shooting isn't bad, it's nowhere near as absorbing as the rest of the game. It just doesn't feel like the same care and attention from the other sequences was applied here. And when the rest of the game is so good, you can tell. Nonetheless, the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is an exceptional piece of game design, and Xbox owners shouldn't be kept in the dark on this one. Release your inner badass. A 4 out of 5.
Careful how you look at me.
You know, Vin Diesel does sound suspiciously like Barry White. You know, maybe when his film career tanks, he can record a sultry R&B album.
Yeah, and you know, maybe Judi Dench can sing backup because apparently that lady will do damn near anything for a paycheck. Now, how else can you explain 007 Die Another Day?
Contractual obligations, that's how. They're binding, like a noose.
Oh, how well I know. Up next, we have a D&D hack and slash from Stormfront Studios. Now, why is it so special? Watch our preview of Forgotten Realms' Demon Stone to find out. I know what you're thinking. Another medieval hack and slash, another boring button masher. I'm never ever going to get laid. Well, you're probably right about the last part, but Forgotten Realms Demon Stone is far from a run-of-the-mill hack-em-up. This action-heavy Dungeons & Dragons game is being made by the folks who brought you The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers a while back.
Elvin Blackstaff, I've dreamed about this day 100 years.
I'm flattered that I held your interest.
It tells the story of three adventurers who accidentally unleash two otherworldly demons from their prison, the Demon Stone. Upon release, the two start fighting with no regard for anything or anyone around them.
It's a wood elf village. We have to make sure they're safe.
I thought she hated wood elves.
It's soon made clear that the testy Outworlders are way beyond the little band's current abilities. But since when has that ever deterred a video game character?
We set those creatures free. It's up to us to stop them before more villages are lost.
I love a magic user with a sense of responsibility, especially when it comes to demons. Racked with guilt over their little faux pas, our heroes consult with Patrick Stewart to find out what to do.
If left free, either of them will annihilate Faerun. You must entrap the pair again, together, in a new demon stone.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be easy. Like in Lord of the Rings, you can play as three distinct characters. Unlike Lord of the Rings, you play all three at the same time. You start off with Rannick, a big burly fighter who looks like one of Triple H's distant ancestors. He's wandering around aimlessly after watching his village be massacred by orcs. So he dishes out the heavy damage and the guilt-ridden angst in equal portions.
I was in that fight, but I was knocked out early. When I awoke, almost everyone I knew had been killed.
Explains the death wish.
Jai, the surly half-drow rogue, is agile and stealthy. She can disappear in shadows and backstab enemies without being detected.
Never gets tired.
She also has quite a mouth on her.
Stop rescuing me. Out there, I had somewhere to run.
Pleasure meeting you too.
And of course, what D&D party would be complete without a sorcerer?
You up there! You with a stick!
Over here!
We're pinned down!
We need your help!
Ilias is an expert at ranged spells and deal huge damage to multiple enemies from afar. Once your party is assembled, you can switch to any one of the three on the fly. The other two will fight on their own and are actually pretty smart.
I got the ones across the room.
A player-controlled level-up system keeps the characters customized to your liking. Incredibly detailed character animation gives them a lifelike feel.
The half-drow, rescuing humans.
And the bickering makes me feel like I'm watching a really weird episode of Buffy.
Are either of you hurt?
With dragons.
Not yet!
Huge, varied environments and the simple but skill-based combo system should keep things from feeling like a repetitive march to the right and kill everything mash fest. Pull off a combo correctly and you even get a little bonus animation like Rannick's critical damage backstab here. Forgotten Realms Demon Stone could be the shot in the arm the hack and slash genre has needed for a very long time. Keep an eye out for it this fall. That looks like more fun than rolling 20-sided dice in your mom's basement. Or wearing a plastic helmet. And a cloak. I speak from experience.
I know, I was there with my rubber elf ears on.
It's cute.
Up next, it's not love when we review Smash Court Pro Tournament. Success is a relative term for Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Relative to what? Homelessness?
Maybe so. Welcome back to X-Play, the show that lobs and volleys sports reviews in your general direction.
We have a tennis game, and it's not topspin for the Xbox, but it still has Anna Kournikova. I'm glad I live in a country where being a subpar player doesn't matter if you're pretty.
Here's our review of Smash Court Pro for the PS2.
After taking some time to work the kinks out of their 2002 release, and having the benefit of being the only tennis game released on the PlayStation 2 for 2004, Namco might finally have their breakthrough hit with
Smash Court Tennis Pro Tournament 2.
Ooh, sexy voice. Now, let's get one thing straight. This isn't a button masher game. Just like real tennis, things are harder than they look. The developers have emphasized proper positioning, stamina, and timing to the point where the casual gamer may get frustrated by the perceived sluggish controls. Pro Tournament 2 uses the left analog stick for movement, with different shots mapped to the face buttons, including my personal favorite, the old Labaroni. Serving is the standard press a button to toss the ball, another to serve. But there is no power meter to rely on. Players can also no longer rely on reacting at the last second or starting their swings early in the hopes of finishing the stroke when they reach the ball. Each player in Smash Court has momentum, meaning that running to the left or right causes the character to keep moving for a few steps even after the analog stick is released. This is ultimately more realistic, but could also very much be a source of frustration. As Serena, you will throw your racket down, and if you're Anna, it looks like you're purging yourself. Though the on-court action takes practice, it's hard to find fault with the number of game modes on offer. Arcade mode involves advancing through 5 major tournaments as a male or female pro player. Exhibition serves up a custom match with support for 4 players. Tutorial spans a series of 20 lessons. Challenge mode involves completing specific exercises within a time limit.
Yes.
And the Pro Tour is a one-player career mode that lets you create a custom character with an initial ranking of 250 as you try to become the top-seeded player in the world. But before we do that, we need to get this boy a decent-looking haircut. Those who enjoy Tennis 2K2 or Topspin probably won't appreciate Smash Court Tennis as much. Yet, if you felt these titles were lacking in realism and challenge, Smash Court will easily satisfy your inner Roddick or Williams. We give Smash Court Pro Tennis Tournament a 3 out of 5.
Smash Court. Sounds like something Hulk would say.
And let's watch some commercials now. Sounds like something I would say, because I'm lazy.
Up next, fighting the enemy known as Sand in Desert Combat Battlefield 1942. Puny humans kneel before Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Wait, I thought the puny humans were supposed to kneel before Zod. Whatever. Okay.
Welcome back to X-Play. It's mod time.
Battlefield 1942, a first-person shooter that's been modded by just about everybody and their mother, except for me, because I don't know how to.
Right, well, our favorite is the Star Wars Galactic Conquest mod that converts Battlefield to a galaxy far, far away. If only you could shoot Ewoks. Oh, and Cap Jar Jar.
That sounds good. Now looking at another full conversion mod using the Battlefield engine.
Here's our look at Desert Combat Battlefield 1942.
Battlefield 1942 is that slick, internet-ready first-person shooter that lets players get their war on in the classic conflict we like to call World War II. The game was great because it lets you take the battles to the streets, as well as both the sea and air. We liked it so much, we gave it the coveted 5 out of 5 rating. And when Battlefield Vietnam came out, well, simply put, we liked that too. That said, I'd like to direct your attention to the Battlefield mod, Desert Combat. That's right, it's all the gameplay you've come to love from Battlefield 1942, wrapped up in a coalition versus misguided Iraqis visual styling. Yep, all the fun of the war in Iraq, minus all the anguish associated with real-world dead buddies. Oh no, they got Troy! Oh well, sucks being Troy. Ow! Sucks being me too. So basically, the clunky old Sherman tanks have been replaced by fancy M1 Abrams. Japanese Zeros have become jet fighters. You can launch Scuds. Woot! And rounding out the available hardware is the addition of the formidable Apache and Black Hawk helicopters. And who wouldn't want one of those? The weapons are all decidedly modern. And the locations are, well, decidedly Middle Eastern. You've got both sprawling oil refineries to capture, as well as nighttime skirmishes in and around the town of Basra. Sound like fun? Sure, why not? Interested parties should point their browsers over to desertcombat.com. Here you can peruse screenshots of the new mod. As well as follow their links to download the appropriate files. Then, once installed, just fire it up for a sampling of all things shock and awe. It's the new Desert Combat mod for Battlefield 1942, and it's free to you, but only online.
Ah, sand, the sedimentary menace. And yet shooting it is less satisfying than shooting Ewoks. See, when they're dead, they can't make bad made-for-TV specials.
Don't leave us. When we come back, the follow-up to the most popular Xbox Live game of all time.
I mean, the 1984 TV special was called the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage. Caravan of Courage? That's worse than Attack of the Clones.
Start reading.
Coming up, because Tom Clancy needs more money, Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow. Now, with a 7-day waiting period, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan West.
Welcome back to X-Play. Now with more red tape.
And we finally come to the moment many of you have been waiting for. Our preview of the follow-up, the most popular Xbox Live game ever.
Yes, there's a new Rainbow Six squad-based shooter, although it does seem ironic that a game where you shoot people would use the word rainbow in the title. It's like making a game called Happy Pretty Unicorn where all you do is behead folk.
I would totally play a game called Happy Pretty Unicorn.
Anyway, we have a preview of the newest game designed to make Tom Clancy even richer. Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow. Rainbow Six is back on the Xbox, and we're more than happy to put on the combat fatigues and move out. Codenamed Black Arrow, it offers up more of the same gameplay that has made it Xbox Live's most popular game. This time around, Team Rainbow was out to stop terrorists from creating and using weapons of mass destruction in the Black Sea. What this means to you is that you'll be guiding a team of 4 operatives around abandoned warehouses and decrepit shipping yards in hopes of ending the threat. Rainbow Six 3 isn't Halo, and it isn't Unreal Tournament. Running out into the open with guns blazing is a sure way to get yourself killed. Instead, you must find cover points, hide behind them, and pop out to deliver fatal shots. At the beginning of each mission, you're presented with your team members and allowed to select your weapon loadout. Veterans of Rainbow Six 3 will be glad to see that the terribly unbalanced 50 caliber sniper rifle has been nixed. Other favorites like tear gas have returned, though. Hey, I think someone put something in my drink. The single-player missions are fairly typical of the Rainbow Six line. You'll be rescuing plenty of hostages.
What are you doing? You can't just leave me here!
So that's the thanks I get? You'll also be defusing mucho bombs. Well, if you get them in time, anyway. Team tactics are extremely important, and issuing orders is easy. Though they don't always do exactly what you want them to. I said frag the enemies, idiot, not me. But most of the time, your teammates can be a huge help. In fact, if you don't use your teammates for support, it's practically impossible to complete a mission.
Roger, moving now.
They will cover you while you barge into a room or throw caution to the wind and head on in with guns blazing.
Under fire!
Such brave men. Enemy AI in this preview build isn't quite there yet. Gaze in awe as this particularly intelligent terrorist runs from the safety of cover to an open area. Maybe the AI is realistic after all. And boy, those terrorists sure are good at the electric slide. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. While the single-player game should provide hours and hours of play, Rainbow Six 3 has built its reputation with multiplayer. Black Arrow will be the first game to use all the new Xbox Live 3.0 functionality. You'll even be able to play through the single-player game cooperatively with a friend. With a lengthy single-player campaign and literally hundreds of hours worth of gameplay on Xbox Live, Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow should deliver all the team-based mayhem tactical shooter fans can handle when it's released this summer.
Now, Black Arrow will be the first game for Xbox Live 3.0, which has new features, like clan support, so you can form teams and track your stats. Now, 3.0 will also have leagues and live video chat.
So now you can see the face of the 12-year-old who's been fragging you online all year.
Now, we end tonight with a question about Vertex shading sent in by one of our fans. What is it?
I don't know. That's why we went straight to an expert in a field to get you the answers.
Vertex shaders. All CG objects are composed of polygons, typically triangles or point objects, which are further composed of vertices. Each vertex is defined by XYZ position, as well as several other factors like color, texture, and lighting. Vertex shaders directly affect the data of each vertex. Using vertex shaders, game developers can achieve advanced effects such as procedural geometry, complex keyframe interpolation, and particle effects.
Oh God!
Makes total sense.
Oh, absolutely. I could probably go make a game right now with all that knowledge.
I guess that's what happened to the cameraman, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
They're replaceable.
We have a
Got
couple more of those. They're everywhere. Well, if you learned about vertex shading, but you want to learn about something else, you can come to our website, which I wouldn't really call it a place of learning.
But it's a place of words.
It is a place of words.
G4TechTV.com.
Then there's like /play too,
Yeah.
if you want to.
But you don't have to. You could link to it. Good night.
All right, bye.